we did a little intermission on the is it binge worthy series that we usually do, which we're watching The Offer, which is about the making of The Godfather. So we took a little intermission to watch The Godfather and talk about it. So I'm already a huge fan of The Godfather. I don't know if these guys are yet, but we're gonna find out. It's a classic for me as far as just like my first introduction into like love and film and stuff like that. So I haven't watched it since I actually got into film. So rewatching it again with like the mind I have now was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. But yeah, so uh, we're gonna talk about The Godfather, Part One. Um, and yeah, we're gonna see. Corey, why don't you take us off with how what's it? I guess you don't have to give your rating. You give a ranking, or you can say, does it hold up to the rankings the ratings that you know it's gotten, and like how you feel about the movie.
So this was my first time watching it in its entirety. I've probably seen, I've seen clips of it, but I've never sat down and watched the actual movie. So I would say that I'm upset at myself that I hadn't seen it yet, but at the same time, I think if I watched it years and years ago, that I would be more, uh, I would like it better. I guess I would have more respect for it.
Yeah,
Just because I don't really get into too much old film, I guess you could say. So I, it was before me,
yeah,
like
yeah. Made
before,
in
yeah.
1972.
So I'm not used to that kind of film, but I can see like with it being made that long ago, like how the effects and everything and the build of the film itself made it as good as everyone plays it out to be.
Yeah,
So I do respect it for that. Um, but yeah, I just like the whole story and the storyline of Michael and his character arc. I think that that's really what intrigues me the most on how he was like from, I know we'll get into characters, but how he was just like not involved with the family at all to being the head of the family at the end. Like I really like that storyline of it for sure.
yeah. It was a good Renaissance man, and that's kind of how a lot of things were written in the classics. They like to like that Renaissance man thing. We've kind of fallen away from that in today's stuff, but like that Renaissance man, like that coming of age character. But yeah. So Chris, how'd you see it? How'd you feel about it?
Remember I told you I had seen it before, but I didn't remember it.
Yeah,
And I remembered why I didn't remember it. And it was because it contrary to popular I guess popular opinion, I wasn't like I it was just a movie to me, you know what I mean? It wasn't there was nothing in it that was super spectacular. The you know what I mean? Like the cast was great. It had a bunch of big name actors in it, but it was nothing in it that would make me say, this is my favorite movie. I want to see this again. You know what I
right.
mean? Nothing. I thought The Offer was better. Like I thought the pilot of The Offer was better than the whole movie The Godfather. And that's just my opinion. But I mean, then again, that movie, I mean, I guess it was probably revolutionary because it was new for the time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
seeing as how we're new age people, I, being as though I've been exposed to a lot more film,
Mhm.
I could see why it's a classic, but it's not in my top 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say I completely understand what you're saying. I think it's just because it's the story and the fact that the story is all fiction, but we all fantasize about that mob
Mhm.
life, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it puts you in that mob life and none of this is real, even though it's probably inspired and stuff.
Mm.
I think
I,
it was like that fantasy of it, and then the fact of at the time, like you said, the movie that
bro,
it's like what it represented for the time. Because I was looking at the budget, $6 million to make this film,
That's a
right?
lot.
mm,
In today's money, that's 50 million.
Yeah.
mm.
Well, that's not
So
as
they,
You know
much, I
something
guess,
I
as I
thought
think.
about something I thought about while I was watching it is that I thought that Goodfellas and Casino were better than that movie.
But they were
Hmm,
they were
They
after,
were
right?
after. Yes, they
So,
were
but
after, but I
see
still thought they
that
were better.
that's why I have respect for The Godfather because I think this was the first of its kind. Like
So
this
what if
was the
those movies came first? How would that have changed it?
I think that those movies were influenced by this movie, is what I'm trying to say.
That that
Well, that's
that
just
is
because it's
definitely
mob
true.
culture.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
they were
exactly.
they were definitely influenced by this film because a lot of things after were, but and I have one to call out, but I want to save it to the end. But I have seen Casino, but I cannot remember it enough
Oh
to
boy.
say that. But Goodfellas, I mean, yeah, um, I
Come on, it
think
had the three top like mob actors at the time. It what
yeah,
Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro, and what's my
the
boy's
guy who
name? Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci.
yeah. Um, no, I'm gonna have to rewatch it to be able to answer that a little deeper. But then I think it's into the context of time because like Marlon Brando, who was the Don, was he was that era's Leonardo DiCaprio. Um, and then you had um, so yeah, like you calling out the actors and everything, and The Godfather. That it was it's just the time periods. I don't know when Casino was done. Um,
I think Casino was in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. I think Casino was in the 90s. I think it was early 90s,
1995.
mid 90s. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 1995. Um, and you had Al Pacino, um, and I don't think
Young
he
Al
got his
Pacino.
young Al Pacino. But yeah, it's one of those things where I I think it's a great movie, but this isn't the one that's my favorite. My favorite's Godfather 2.
Yeah,
But
I'm interested. I think I want to check out Godfather 2 now because
I I've been wanting
it seems
to.
like the storyline might be better even
Yeah,
than the
yeah.
first one.
And it was only made 2 years later, so we'll have to see. And then
What was the
they
budget
took
on
a
two?
nice uh
Because I bet you, I wonder how much of the budget for one was used just for location. Because I know that they did shoot in Italy, like they actually went to Italy to shoot. I can't imagine how much money that cost back then.
damn. Godfather 2 was 13 million.
Okay, so
And the
double,
first one
more
was
than double.
6, right? Yeah, so then
Yep.
Hmm.
that's more like today's movie budget because that
Yeah.
would have been like 100 million, and
Let's see.
that's
I'm
what.
gonna watch two. I'm gonna see if the cinematography is different, if the makeup
So,
is different.
and this is something I can tell you. I don't know about story. Like Chris said, like Mob was just a thing that everybody kind of fed off.
Hmm.
Cinematography wise, I can tell you cinematography was taken from God. That's I think that's where I get most of my respect from it personally is the cinematography of Godfather. A lot of the framing, a lot of the if you remember, and we'll get into it, the hospital scene, how they're doing all that, and you hear sounds that are coming that aren't there yet, like the footsteps and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. That was something that
Mm.
kind of
Directional sound. I don't know if that's what it's called,
yeah.
but that sounds that sounds right.
Yeah, it's yeah, that's a good way of calling it. But it's just a lot of the cinematography was inspirational to other things. I do know that much. But no, I do want to rewatch The Casino. Goodfellas, I probably ain't rewatching, but I think I want to rewatch the Casino. But so that's our first takes of it, and I think it's pretty respectable. I think The Godfather is just a classic for what it is. But we're gonna get into it and talk about the just the film itself. So I want to ask you all how you all felt about the intro, and I guess the intro it kind of blends into two things. The intro is the introduction to the Godfather's office, right? And just kind of the introduction to him as a character, but then also the weddings going on. So I just wanted to see what did you all pick up or vibe with from the intro?
I mean, it just
Well, I
kind of.
know for a
Go
fact.
ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Corey.
You good?
I so that is one thing. I guess I guess The Godfather has made culture like something that everybody knows from that. Like I knew that first scene from from hearsay, not even from the movie. Like I knew that the
Yeah,
Godfather, if you go to an Italian wedding, and you can ask the Godfather for whatever you want on the day of
yeah,
his
yeah,
daughter's
yeah,
wedding, and he's obligated to give you, or
yeah.
you know what I mean, like do
Because
whatever you
that's when
say.
he's the most sensitive.
Right, right. So I knew that going into the movie before I ever had. I think I knew that before I had even seen the movie the first time, because it was that classic line. I forgot that wasn't the offer you can't refuse, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Right.
they
So
didn't
yeah,
they didn't go
that's it.
right into it. We didn't get that line until Mike, his son, was telling his future wife a story about his dad and how they gave an offer that he couldn't refuse. How he
Oh
had it
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
either his brains were going to be on the contract or his signature.
Hmm.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, yeah. I thought it was one thing. I thought I didn't. I mean, there's a lot of things I was picking up on that I definitely wouldn't have any other time. But I thought it was kind of, when most people when people start to cry and someone waves over the help or whatever it is, they usually come over with a napkin, right? Wipe the tears away. In that intro, when he's venting about what happened to his daughter and everything, he gets teary eyed, and you see his hand swipe over, and help comes over. They hand him a shot, and I just thought that was funny to me. It was like it wasn't a napkin, it wasn't a tissue, it was a shot. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny. Um, but
I,
yeah, that was yeah. Go on.
I just like how they showed like how powerful he is by just like in that first intro, and like how everyone had respect for him and all that stuff. You didn't really know why yet he was respected, and they they go into that later, but it's just like how everybody was just like, "Hey, I'm going to talk to the Godfather." Like it's like this is the guy, and then you kind of get shown why he is throughout the movie. But
Yeah, and that's why. And I need to double check before I speak wrong, but I'm feeling confident about it. That's why I like The Godfather 2 so much because there's flashbacks to
okay,
how he became who he was. Um, So, but yeah, you find that out. But I mean, other than that, we've kind of found out he was respected because he kind of had all the influence. I mean,
Yeah,
they
he was
kind of he had
politics.
yeah,
Yeah.
policemen, politics, congressmen, whatever, judges and senators.
judges, yeah.
So, yeah, that runs deep. Um, I just liked, and I thought it was kind of with the wedding. Um, it was just really good cinematography, kind of writing, how they made it kind of chaotic without it being chaotic, like they showed how much was going on, like everybody had something going on. uh you had Sonny hooking up with his mistress, and you had um the feds running the plates, the photographer thing happening, all that stuff. It just was like, that's a wedding, like so much bullshit is just going
Hmm.
on and everyone's distracted. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's something I picked up on. So we got that intro, and then we kind of just
I have a
get right
question
into the
before
yeah.
we move away from the intro. Did anybody ever express dislike for the daughter's husband at that point? Like,
No,
did anybody not like him before they got married?
I believe there was a state. Well, there was did not. There was a statement where they said, now that he's in the family, somebody said, what kind of work do we want to give him? And the Don said, oh no, we'll keep him out of the family, but give him stability, like give him income.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they did for.
Yeah,
Um,
I actually have a note about the relationship of the husband, I guess, because it's kind
all
of
right.
weird as it goes through. But we'll get to
Yeah.
that later.
Well,
Go
no,
where
no.
you're
Well,
going.
that's the intro, and that's kind of what it jumps you into. I mean, we got someone coming to him. I think it was either the baker the or was he the morgue guy? I think he might have been the morgue actually, because he told him, he said, "I'm gonna do this for you, but hopefully I don't have to come to you for a favor, for you to fulfill your favor." And I think that was the significance of him going to him later on in the movie.
Yeah, make
Um,
my son look better. Yeah.
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 So, which was just good writing to just like, there's so many tiebacks. Now I'm picking up on it, but the intro was cool with that, the chaotic wedding, the visits into the office and getting to know just how his influence was as the Don. Um, so we'll go into characters, which will give Corey the opportunity to mention what he wants to. But I want to just talk about characters real quick before we go into like details of them. Did y'all notice who Sonny was? Do you know who Sonny is as an actor? What he played
Mm-mm.
in?
Not right off.
He is the dad in The Elf.
What? Really?
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
interesting.
Are you talking about Elf
Yeah.
with Will Ferrell?
Yep.
Yeah, I would have never caught that. Just so you all know, I'm not a Will Ferrell fan. I think I've told you that
Oh no, no,
before.
no. This is the thing. I'm not either. But since I married a white woman, we watch a lot of Elf.
I mean,
Nah, I'm not a Will Ferrell fan either. Like I hate it
James
when people
Caan.
would have
Yeah, that is James Caan. Interesting. Very
he
I'll look it
interesting.
up right now.
yeah, he aged into that. And of course, so I'll just run through the keys of the family. We have Marlo Brando. I don't know if you're all familiar with him, but he was iconic at the time. He was like their Leonardo DiCaprio. He unfortunately died in a car accident in
Oh no,
new his new sports car that he had just got. Um, and then we have Al Pacino, we have James Caan, and then we have someone that was a pretty known mobster for most of these movies, and it was the guy Robert S. Constanello. He was the guy
hmm
that pretty much did all the hits for everybody. Once,
Clemenza.
yeah, once Luca was, yeah, Clemenza. Then we have Tom, who was the
He's my
lawyer,
favorite character.
um, and yes, I'm gonna touch on that too. I like Tom a lot. Um, I still I still was trying to look for it just because we're on Tom. I was still trying. No, I'm not even gonna get to it yet. We'll wait. So then we got Tom, and then
Don't
everybody
forget.
else is just yeah, yeah. Everybody else is just
Robert Duvall.
kind of filler. They just kind of wrap into the story. I think Kay. I think
Diane Keaton, by the way.
Diane
That's
Keaton,
Kay.
yep. She is a key factor in the movie, but it's more so just how she shows up in the film, but you just don't see her that much.
Hey,
But yeah, man.
I got a
Uh,
character that I liked. I want to see if anybody else recognized him. I'm pretty sure. Let me see. I'm checking something real quick. 1 second. I'm pretty sure that's him. If it's not, is he's damn it looks just like him. All right, so homeboy that was Tessio.
okay.
Remember him?
Yep.
Is
I'm
that
looking at.
not the same guy that plays the agent in The Incredibles? You remember the guy that relocates the family every time they fuck up?
Yeah. Let me
That
see if
has
there's
to be
any
him, bro. That dude looks exactly like him. It has to be
inspiration
him.
from that.
If it's not, it's crazy. It has to be him. If he was
Um,
not,
I mean, there's no way he's alive today, right?
Yeah, he died
Let
in
me see.
no.
2016.
Okay.
Yes, he could have been in the First Incredible. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up. Don't worry about
I'm,
it. But
I'm
if that's
on
not
I'm
him,
on
that
it right
character was
now. It's not.
definitely built off him.
So, okay, so he did voices. That's why I was trying to look into. He did voices for video games.
I don't see him here.
Bro,
I
tell
thought
me
that was
why I
for sure
He
forgot
was in
about
him.
the.
Good Burger.
Ja-
He was in
I
Good
forgot
Burger.
about the Godfather video games. I of
Oh
course knew
dang,
about
I did too,
Mafia. I knew about Mafia, but I forgot about Godfather games.
bro.
Those
I
were
don't
good
think that
games.
was him. That's not
Um,
him.
I'm sure there's inspiration though.
I'm about to look
There's
that up.
gotta
It has to be.
be. So yeah, so we got the main cast out there. Um, Robert Duvall is still alive, who is Tom. He is about 94 right now. They're all pretty old, but I think he's about the oldest that's still kicking it. Um, and like Chris said, he a favorite character. I liked him too, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't supposed to like him because I kind of got confused in the plot because once he was offered the to be a
Oh, what's the
traitor,
name?
I couldn't really figure out if he was actually trying to do it or not. So maybe you all can help me out with that. Because obviously he didn't. So was he
I'm
just letting that
so
play out?
I feel like I need to watch it over again because I was kind of distracted in some of it because there are some like things that happened and I don't know who put out the hits from which side. I don't know if that was ever explained or if it was supposed to be kind of like, hey, you're supposed to guess if it was this group or that group, like the hit on Sunny. I really didn't know where that came
We
from.
found that out at the end,
Okay,
and when we get to Sunny, I'll talk about it then.
but we're so that's why I was questioning the husband, the sister's husband, because like Sonny goes and jumps him because he's beating on his sister,
Yep.
and then they have that big fight, and then she makes the phone call and gets him out of the
Yep.
house. So it's like, is she involved with it? But then at the same
No,
time,
it
later
was it
when
was all the
Michael,
husband.
later when Michael has him killed, has the husband killed, she's like, "You just killed the love of my life." Like, but he was beating her. That relationship was just so weird to me.
That's because a
That
lot
scene
of
was weird to me.
that was because she was just a broken woman. With from that, she was someone that in that time, a lot of women put up with a lot of shit that men did because they had to be in that. Even and that goes to tell you just how powerful that concept of life was. She didn't need no man. she she had four
Yeah,
brothers that would have done everything for
and her
her,
family had money.
and her family had money. But I think that's just all it was. She was just broken enough that she thought she needed that, and that was the father of her kids and stuff like that. I think that's all that was.
Okay,
But to go into that, he did set up Sonny, which I didn't put that together until the end. But he did. He that so Sonny went and beat his ass in the street for hitting his sister. And then I think that was the cue where he was like, all right, I'm gonna get back at Sonny. I think that was his get back at Sonny. So he partnered with the outside family and beat the sister to where Sonny was gonna definitely go and try to handle him or check on his sister, and that got him set up.
but it's just so weird
But
because he was going to like meet up with another woman right before that. So it's just maybe I'm reading too much into it, but
yeah, I was like, what's that
that's
got
what
to
I
do with
do.
anything though?
I break down everything now too much
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. I mean, Sonny was a horn dog for sure.
Right. Not Sonny. I'm talking about the husband. Because if that
Oh, yeah, yeah,
scene
yeah.
where they get in a big fight, she gets a phone call from another woman saying that, hey, tell him that I can't make it. And then he's getting
Yep.
ready to leave the house, and she just made this big dinner. That's when they get in the big argument, and that's why I was like, did that get set up? Like I said,
Yeah,
I'm thinking
and I
too
see what
much
you're
into
saying,
it.
and I would say that was part of the setup. I say it was a part to sell it for sure.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Um, so yeah, and I mean we can talk about Sonny. Sonny, how did y'all feel about Sonny as a Don? Because the Don, Vito Corleone, um, said he wasn't a good Don. Rest in peace to my son. But I don't know if he was a bad Don. I think he slipped up.
He
But what?
wasn't. No, he wouldn't have been good, bro. His fault got him killed. He
He
was
just was
quick
too
to fly off the
reckless.
handle.
He was too
Yep, too quick to
reckless.
fly off the handle, bro. You can't be doing that stuff when you're a don. You got people to do it for you.
Hmm.
That's true.
Yeah,
And
he can't
that's
be
I was about to say,
doing.
Mike's a hothead too, but he ain't throwing himself in the fire. So I feel you.
what you
Yeah,
saw.
you
That's why. What's his name? Robert. What's Robert Duvall's uh character's
Tom.
name? He kept him. He tried to get Sonny to come back. He's like, no, 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 like come back. Where are you going? Like
Yeah.
Sonny wanted to handle everything on his own, and
Yep.
because he felt like, hey, this is my problem. I'm gonna fix it. But like that's not how a true Don handles things. He
Exactly.
moves quietly in the background and says, hey. You do this to do this to get this done. Like it's like all these different ways, and then they get what they want, and there's so
Yep.
many questions on how it happened.
case in
Corey, you
point.
learned a lot about racketeering. I'm proud of you.
I was about to say, case in point. This is why Michael was better. Look at the end of the movie. How that whole thing was set up by him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he had a warning from his father prior. You know what I
I
mean?
loved how that came back. I love the whole circle
Yeah.
back stuff. And we'll talk on that too. So that's so. I think we kind of, Chris, did you get to tell us about Tom? We kind of talked about him a little bit, but you wanted to say something with
No,
him
you
or
were gonna
anything?
say something. I just liked him because he seemed like he was the most solid character out of like the most down person that was in that whole circle. And I don't even he didn't they say he wasn't even part of the family, right? He
No.
was just somebody that they had brought in, like a
Hmm.
son off the street that they had taken
Yep.
care of. And he
Yep.
always respected him for that. So he was, I mean, he was the most solid person out of
Yeah, he
everybody.
was
When he
more
found out that
loyal.
Sonny was killed, he couldn't even tell his father because he
Yeah.
was so broken. Like he couldn't even tell him.
Well,
He
and that's what I love. And since we're talking about both these characters, they had that brother relationship too. They bickered back and forth. They went at each other, and Tom was able to also say things that also corrected Sonny. Like he was
right,
like, "Hey, I'm just
right.
as much of a son as you are," and he was like, "Yeah, you're right." Like
Yeah, man, you
so.
put in some work, you done some shit, man.
Yeah,
You know, you down for the family, you down for the family,
Hmm.
you know?
exactly.
And they knew he was
Um,
down for the family 100%.
oh yeah. No, they had a good relationship. I like that. So I'll say what I was gonna say about Tom. So and I might cut this out, but we'll see. So I've been personally writing a script called The Goddaughter, that I wanted to make it to where like it's a woman that's running things because she's the goddaughter of someone that had a lot of respect from the family or whatever, blah blah blah. And I have like the whole concept written out and everything, but I wasn't sure how I could connect it with like where this stemmed from, if I wanted to, or if I even could. I might have to get rights, whatever. But if I could connect it from this storyline, I wanted to. So I was happy that we were rewatching this because I think I found my connection, which I gotta watch Godfather 2 to see what happens to Tom. But I think I might try to make it a daughter of Tom.
Hmm.
Um, and it might just be that it's just something that you just don't find out until like later I write this. Not nothing that I don't think we ever find out that he has a wife or kids or anything in these series. But I don't know. I was like, all right, that's my window because I originally thought that I could do it from the bodyguards or someone in Italy with when Mike went there, but then they were crooked. So I was like, oh, I
Yeah,
can't
I
do
wrote a
that.
note
I was
about
about to
that
say,
too.
bro, based off of what I've seen, if I was one of those guys, I'm not having a family. Just not having a family, bro. You get your family blown up in cars and
Yeah.
kidnapped and shot. Damn that, bro. Fuck that.
So while we're on that, let's talk about Mike since we're on that because I might cut that out and we might come back in. But since we're talking about Mike, so Mike, um, he comes back home, military boy. He brought home. I don't think he brought home a chick. I don't think. I guess but he came home with a woman. Um, she instantly kind of integrated into the family when she got pulled into the family photos or whatever. But yeah, how'd y'all feel about Mike's introduction and just like, I don't know, Corey, you kind of touched on it, like
Hmm.
his coming to
Character arc.
age and
Yeah.
yeah,
He seemed
character arc.
like when we first met him, he seemed like he understood what his family did, but he was trying to distance himself. Like,
He didn't
I'm
want to be
trying to
a
make
part
my
of it.
own way. I don't want to do this. Like, I know that my dad killed people and he's had people disappeared. I don't want nothing to do with that. And that's what I mean. I feel like that's how we were introduced to him. Like, this is what my family does, just so you know,
Yeah,
you know.
Hmm.
But yeah, but I liked him, you know, when we first met him.
yeah. I mean, that was like a sign of how honest he was too. Like it was like he's like,
Yeah,
I ain't got nothing to hide. I'll tell you
yeah,
until the end.
It was
yeah,
just
yeah,
interesting,
yeah. Until
like
the end.
the whole family business concept. Like you can say that, this is I'm gonna rebel against what my family does. I want to go off and do my own thing. But in the end, a lot of times you're forced to go back into your family business. And he kind of was forced, but then he was more willing as time went on.
Yeah, no, and I think so. I have it. Let me find this because it kind of fits it. So I put so I have like sections on scenes, right? And I have the hospital visit just because we're talking about Mike, but not to go into scenes. We'll stay on Mike. But I was like, I felt like that was when Mike was like, okay, I'm here. I'm here to handle things. When he went to the hospital and had to find out that no one was there, he had to kind of step into it. And there was just two. um, two things that he said. One, he told his brother on the phone, "I'm not stressing out" or whatever. He's like, "I'm not worried." Like, or I don't know what he said. He said, "I'm calm" or something or like that. It just kind of showed that he was just like, "I'm okay with this." But then also he sat with his father and he said, "Don't worry, Dad, I'm here now." And
Yeah.
so I just felt like that was that. Those were the moments that was like, all right, Mike's about to come into the
He's
game.
locked in.
Yeah. Um, but all right, so Mike was cool. I liked the
I had
whole.
another. So my little quirks. That's what most of my notes are. Why did he have a black eye for so long?
Oh, you don't remember that?
But
So
why
he
did it
got he
last? Why did it last so
because they
long?
broke his
Broke his
fucking
jaw,
face.
and
It
I didn't
takes a
know that.
long time to fucking
Yeah,
heal a fucking broken orbital in 1972.
No,
I
I
thought he
know.
just got hit, but yeah, when they said broke his jaw, I was like,
They
damn.
broke his shit, bro. They fucked him
Yeah.
up and they sent him overseas.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah,
I
he was
must have
messed
missed that.
up.
Yep.
Yeah, that
Um.
also I looked into the lore of it. That's also the reason why, because I thought that he was on cocaine or something. He's always dabbing his nose with the napkin or the handkerchief, and apparently in the lore it says because they beat him so bad that it messed up all of his shit, so he would just like be leaking like mucus and shit. So he had to
Yeah.
continuously dab it up.
Hmm.
Yeah, they
Good
did
enough.
real good with that kind of stuff for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, Mike's character had he had some good quirks to him. He was I feel like he was a hothead too, but he definitely had a level head on how to use his stuff. But he was I think he was born for this.
So
Um,
is the restaurant scene something that we're gonna talk about, or should we talk about
yep.
it now with Mike?
We'll talk about it in the
Okay,
scenes for sure. Yeah,
cool.
that's probably the most famous scene of the movie. Um, but we'll talk about that. So then um, we got the Don, Marlon Brando. So one thing that I learned about with this film, I don't know if y'all have seen it anywhere else, but he was acting as this character,
Character
and
actor, yeah.
he came up with this. So they couldn't really figure out how they wanted him to use his voice or be the Don or whatever. He shows up to set one time and grabs cotton balls, stuffs cotton balls in his mouth, and that's how he
Interesting.
acted. Yeah, he talked and used that voice with
To
cotton balls in his
push
mouth.
the jaw out.
Yeah, and used that to find the voice for the Don. It was crazy. But nah, he was apparently he's a. I watched other movies of him. He was a pretty good actor. Um, but yeah, I mean the Don, uh, Vito, I think had a good character arc to his death.
Yes.
Um, and I don't think I mean, there's scenes we can talk about. There's not really much that stands out, but we can talk about him. I mean, how do we look at how he got shot, how he first got into hospital. How y'all feel about getting shot 7 times in the back in 1970? And
Yeah. That was
I mean, he was
interesting.
a big
Bro.
dude, and those were little bullets back then. But
Shit.
yeah,
Little bullets. Ain't no such thing, buddy.
I mean,
A projectile that goes into your ass is gonna hurt,
I
boy.
think for the
Fuck that.
storyline, it was just showing how strong-willed he is to
yeah,
be
yeah,
able to hang on for his family, knowing that it wasn't his time to go yet. He still needed to hang on because he knew Sonny wasn't ready to be the Don. So
yeah,
he just kind of had to hang on and still, I don't know, still be the Don for a little longer, I guess.
yeah, yeah. The uh, damn, I forgot what I was about to
But
say.
his
Just
character arc is interesting too. So he's like, your
yeah,
real hard, structured Don. Like everything I say is gonna get done, and if you don't get it done, then I'm gonna find somebody else to do it. Like he he was the top dog, right? But
yeah,
then after he had his injuries and he started to turn more towards his family and become a full family man, like his relationship with his grandkids was really cool to see how he was, he opened up that softer side of him, like right to the very last scene when he passes away in the cornfield or whatever, like the garden in the backyard when he's playing with his grandson. Like
So
he's
on
just,
on that on that note right there with that scene,
yeah.
did it, How did he die?
I think he had a heart
I would
attack.
assume a heart attack.
That's
I
what I
think he had
assumed
a
too.
heart
I was
attack.
like, it wasn't from him stuffing that shit in his mouth.
No.
But did you notice? Did you notice what happened? Like that scene, was it the same scene when he was talking to Michael outside? That was
Yeah,
the
it was like the
same
same.
time period.
Yeah.
Did you notice that he was trying to be a family man? He was saying your son looks more and more like you every day, you know. And then the very next sentence, he would go back to business,
Yeah.
you know. And then he was trying to blur the lines. He was trying to leave it, but he just couldn't. He
Right.
just couldn't. He
Um,
tried.
yeah, and there's a quote from him. He said this at the beginning of the movie. He said, "A man that doesn't spend time with his family can't be a real man." So I'll jot that down. But his time with family was business, you know,
Hmm.
with his boys at least. Um, but nah, it was a good top dog growing of age. You know, that's how I think that's how any body in that game would hopefully want to die. So I think he had the perfect death for being in the mob. You know, not getting shot up like his son.
And he could be softer
Um,
now because he knew that Michael was in charge and Michael could
yeah,
handle things. Like
yeah, true, true. All right, so going into scenes, um, I we already kind of talked about the wedding, so we won't go back into that. I could probably pull it back through and stuff, or the intro and everything. But I put, well, first of all, do you all have it? We'll start with you all first, and then I'll kind of fall in if. Oh, wait. Before we do, I'm sorry. I wanted to talk about Luca, um, and that's what I wanted to highlight. Luca and the Don got hit at the same time, and I guess that was significant because they were trying to take out the OGs, right? Did y'all kind of feel that? It was like because they were the OGs of the thing, and I'm pretty sure we in Godfather 2 we learn about their relationship and how they came up together. But yeah, man, how'd y'all feel about the character Luca, man? And you know him getting taken out and all that stuff.
I gotta look back and see who
he's
that
the
actor
big
is.
dude, Chris,
Yeah,
that that got
he was the big hitter.
choked to
He was
death.
the hitter
Oh
for
yeah,
the
that
Don.
dude. He was super loyal. I felt bad for him because I felt
Yeah,
no. I don't mean any disrespect, but I feel like he was special. I feel like he was a like I feel like he might have got his lumps. Like he might have got beat into some sort of mental state that wasn't normal.
yeah.
Because I mean, when you first meet him, he's like sitting on the porch,
Practicing his
like doing
boxing, yeah,
some
practicing his
yeah,
So
like
kick.
what you know what
what
I'm
is it?
saying?
Lenny of Mice and Men kind of
Yeah, yeah,
feel.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. But he
he
was
was
down for
loyal.
whatever he
Yeah,
would have done whatever they told him to do. And I mean, I guess that's what they needed
yeah,
out of him. And he
Yeah.
died, died doing that.
yeah. I felt bad. I felt bad for him too. Um,
What a death
yeah,
though. Like that was
yeah,
interesting. And I think that that's what kind of makes me like respect this even more because in the 70s, I don't know many movies from the 70s, but like how many movies do they have just somebody just choking to death for that long and then like their tongue hanging out and they're just like
yeah.
is that was this one of the like first movies that really just went into death because there's
I,
so many like epic
yeah,
deaths in this film
a lot of epic. That's true. A lot of epic
and
deaths. Maybe they pushed
overkill
that forward. I don't know.
overkill as
But
well.
yeah,
Maybe they're
yeah.
just showing you what mob life was like, bro. I mean,
True,
that's
right.
what it
And
was.
that's what I'm like this is a I see why everyone liked this movie and holds it in such high regard.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I hated how Luca went out. And one of my favorite scenes of this movie, just because I was just visually how it was dope, was just him getting ready. He had his suitcase up, pulling out the vest,
Yeah.
putting it on, getting the. It was just like it was that slow, and then him walking in to the place, and so I watched a lot of I watched mob documentaries, and that was a thing that they would do in the mob. They'd get the gun, they take off their jacket, throw it over, so they have the gun already out or whatever as they're walking. So I don't know, it's just those little things I was picking up. It's like he just had this like he knew what he was doing. Like it was like a very high skilled
Hmm.
person at what he was doing. He just had all the details. So I thought that was cool. But yeah, they sent the sleeping with the fishes message, which
Hmm.
was also cool, sad in the way that it was delivered. But I was like, oh dang, That's deep. But yeah, so that's Luca. Thought we should talk about him. R.I.P. to Luca. All right, so going into scenes, what scenes stood out? Did y'all have a favorite scene? One you didn't like?
Um,
That so
go ahead.
the scene that I didn't like, bro, just didn't make any sense to me. Was the final when everything came together when Michael was talking to the girl, his sister's husband, and
Yeah,
he knew that he fucked up, and he was sitting there, he was in the room, he was shaking, everybody surrounded him, and he's like, "What, you think I would make my sister a widow? Come on, man. I'm gonna send you away." Like, why would he even give him that line of bullshit? You're literally about to put him in the car and he's gonna die. Why would you even let him think he's gonna live? At that point, you're just fucking with him because it was literally 2 minutes later when he got he got wrapped around the neck, kicking out the damn windshield and shit. Like, why even lie to him? Just tell
I
him, bro,
think
you
that.
fucked up. You're not making it out
Yeah,
of this house.
I
Just
think
to
it was
mess with his head.
significant. Yeah, to show that
Why? He's about
Michael
to
was
be dead.
gonna.
What difference does it
Yeah.
make?
Hey,
What
I get
difference
what
does it
Chris is.
make?
Yeah.
If I'm
Yeah,
about to
I get
kill
what Chris
you,
is saying.
bro, you're dead. You're not walking out this room. I want you to know you fucked up.
But I
You
think
fucked up. You're
for
It was
dead.
his,
You're
for
I
not
us.
think
making it
for
out of
his
here.
sister, he was trying to make it look like he did send did send him off. But I think
Why would he do that though?
here's
Like,
why.
why not
Listen,
just kill him and then say, baby, I sent him away?
I think
He's
they killed
gone.
him. I think they killed him too quick. They should have let him get away a little bit further and then killed him because they killed him right there. Then
Yeah,
everyone started
That's
talking
what I'm
about it.
saying. That was planned the whole time. It was never
Yeah,
like they didn't have time to discuss that between the time he walked out the house and got in the car. They already knew
yeah,
that was gonna happen. Like that
yeah.
was why
Like why
even
did
fuck
Michael
with
be like,
them?
damn, why they do it so quick?
yeah.
Yeah, I'd have been like, bro, like if you did that to my sister, I don't want somebody else to do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm the new Don. I got you. Sorry,
hmm
buddy. You know, it just didn't make sense to me. That scene made no sense to me at all.
Yeah, I can relate. What about you, Corey?
Um, I like, I like, and I, well, I guess I just like it. I like the sunny death scene. Just like that
It was yeah,
showed your true like mobster death right
yeah,
there with all the Tommy guns and just the overkill. Obviously, he would have
The-
never got out of that car in a real movie, but once he got hit those couple times in the chest inside the car, he was down. There was no coming out
yeah,
of the car. But when he
the
came out of the
teller,
car
he
and then just like
once
the
that teller would
dun
have
dun
ducked
dun
down,
dun
boy.
dun,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, yeah,
Oh yeah, I'm out.
And then
Reverse.
reverse.
and then the dude goes and kicks him in the face after he's done
Yeah,
put all those bullets in him. I was like, come
Insult to
on, bro.
injury, bro.
well, they shot him up in the car.
Yep.
He comes out. They shoot him up leaning against the car,
Hit him with that Denzel
and then
training
when
day.
he's down on the ground, they shoot him while he's already down on the ground, and then they kick him. Like that was just that was. I'm
Disrespectful.
sorry. Look, listen. I know the Don held his meeting and said, I am not gonna spoil this
What?
piece, but before I died, nah, you ain't doing my son like that.
Hmm.
It's coming back full throttle. It would have happened right there in that room. So yeah, that's crazy. But I think he knew he was such a long term, and you'll learn that more about him. He was such a long term thinker. I think he
You
knew
knew that was
Mike
gonna
was
be
gonna
Sonny's end.
yeah he
Yeah.
knew Mike was gonna take care of that too. I think that's why he could die with peace because he knew Mike was gonna hold it down.
Hmm.
Um, so for me, scenes that I liked or didn't like, I think man, um, there used to be the hospital scene. I don't know why. It was just like I think it was more of the story. It wasn't like something happened. Um, but I will say this: I think I really liked the Italy uh spots of this film because it kind of felt like a different movie for a minute. It kind of
Hmm.
felt like a
Yeah,
western.
it threw me
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, it
I
kind of
was like,
felt
why
like
did
a
they even put
western.
this in here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know. It was just like I guess now I'm looking at it so differently. I think I liked the scenes that had dialogue that were good, and the dialogue was good. I don't know if the captions worked for you all. They were kind of weird for
Yeah,
me
they
where I
did.
watched it. But the dialogue was good, like him meeting the girl, going to talk to her father.
Yeah, that
Um,
was probably one of my favorite scenes too. Was the comedy of that scene
yeah,
where they see the girl and then they go to this guy's house or whatever to get a drink, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, come on in, da da da," and like, what do you guys want? It was a restaurant, right? They're
Yeah.
sitting down at a restaurant, and the owner of the restaurant comes out, and then they start asking about it, what kind of girls are in the town and what girls he knows about, and then they start describing, yeah, she's more Greek than Italian, and then he started describing it, and you see his face just kind of change, and then he goes inside, and then they're like, "What's going on? What's he doing?" The one dude goes in there, and he's like, "Oh,"
There's
he
no
comes
girl
back
here
out.
like
He
that.
said, "That's yeah." He did say that. There's no girl here like that. Goes in there, he's like, "That's his daughter." That was funny scene. I like
Yeah,
that
that
one.
was fun. And that goes back to Michael. Like nothing was funny to him.
Yeah.
Even if it was something that's supposed to be like he could have laughed walking in the Vegas hotel, with that happening
Business.
and
He
stuff
was
like that.
business minded at that point. He's like, I'm not.
You can't be
I'm
no
not
Oh
worried
Don and
about
be
definitely not.
this.
smiling.
But he never broke a smile.
Yeah.
And then damn, I was about to bring up a scene.
Sorry. Sorry.
No, that wasn't you. It'll come back to me.
We haven't talked about the restaurant scene. I don't know if that's what you were going into, or are we saving that for something else?
No, we need to talk about that. I think mine was going into like a character. But anyway,
You
well,
know, I got a question about the whole Italy thing because it didn't make sense to me there either. Those bodyguards that he had, if they were crooked the whole time, why the fuck would they wait to strike and then just kill his wife? Why wouldn't they
They
just be
could have
like,
killed
"Hey,
Michael.
we got Mike right now.
Yeah.
We could off him, and then this whole part is done." It didn't make any sense. A lot of the
yeah,
parts didn't make sense to me.
So the
yeah, I
bodyguard
can
seemed
agree.
really loyal to me, and I wrote that down too. Is like, why did they kill his wife?
Well, it wasn't
Who
they.
who?
I think it was just that one.
Yeah, but did
But he could
somebody?
have killed everybody at any point.
At what
Yeah.
kind of influence did he have to change him? Because obviously he was getting paid by the Corleone family, which they seem like they have the most money and the most powerful family.
Well, you
But
got to remember why, I'm not saying this is why, but at that time, that's when his brother got hit, and all the influence was supposed to be changing. So, and that's why Michael came home, and then that's why he has reestablished their
But
footprint.
that's the worst
Yeah, I mean,
hitman of
yeah,
all time. You take out the
yeah,
wife instead of the actual guy.
yeah,
If they take out Michael in Italy, the whole story's different.
yeah.
because
Oh yeah.
no one knew Michael was there. So how did
Except
they
for
get
that guy.
influence? How did they get influence to the bodyguards to you know what I'm saying? If no one knew that, how did the other families influence the bodyguard if they didn't know Michael was there? That's a
Well,
interesting point.
yeah, but yeah. I mean, I definitely get what y'all are saying. It's just
And then
like
why kill the wife? It
I
doesn't
think
make
Well,
she was
wasn't
supposed.
I
sense.
think
She
Michael was
was.
supposed to be in the car because
Yeah,
he
He
said he
was.
wanted to drive. So
yeah.
I mean,
But
they were
even
trying to kill
still,
Michael.
but the dude saw the car blow up. He saw that he missed his target and he still had a gun. Michael didn't have shit.
Yeah,
He could have just went up and said, "Oh, brrr, now I
Yeah,
can leave." It made no sense at all.
yeah. Maybe he actually wasn't a good shot. I don't know.
Can't be that bad, bro. It can't
Yeah,
be
yeah.
that bad. If you're that bad, you don't need to carry around a gun.
Nah. But no. So this is what I was going to bring up is they've brought up Negroes and colored people a couple times, and there was one part where they were talking about the control of drugs, and one I do want to call this out
Harlem.
how they were, or the Don was definitely like, we're not getting in the drug business. And I watched the documentary that the mob really was like, we don't get into dirty business like that. So I don't know. I remember this is fiction, so I don't think that ever really happened. I don't think any of the mobs really got into.
Oh no, they definitely did.
I think they did. I think some did, but I think like the ones that were really trying
What's
to
that
run
dude's
their
name?
businesses through controlling uh through taxes, their own taxes ultimately. Like, oh, you want to have a business in my neighborhood, you gotta pay me. You want protection. They were like really trying to run off of that. But where I was getting at is they made a statement. They're like, we're gonna control it. No drugs sold here at schools or to kids and all this stuff. But they said, but the black neighborhoods, let them be whatever. and it made me think. I was like, the mob controlled the judges, the cops, and all that stuff. You know, a lot of people want to be like, oh, the government just let drugs flow into the neighborhood. Maybe was it the mob? Should we be
Hey,
looking at it
Bro,
in a different
look
perspective?
at all right, look, this is something you should look into if you haven't looked into. I've looked into this culture before. Have you ever seen The Godfather of Harlem?
I want to watch it. I haven't
Story
started
about
yet.
Bumpy Johnson. Watch it. That shit's crazy. Crazy
Okay.
story. And
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's a true. He was a
That's
real.
what
That's a
I
true
asked.
story.
How much of it is truth? That's what I'd like to know.
Bumpy Johnson. I'm
But
pretty sure it's a true story.
but yeah, that said to me,
Let
and I
me
was
see.
like, huh,
I
maybe it
think.
was
Let me
the
see.
mob's influence or lack of influence that why drugs took over black
Yep.
neighborhoods. So
Bumpy Johnson, 1940s in Harlem. Yep. Look it up. It's a good. Actually, his story is crazy.
yeah, so I don't know. That's something I'm gonna have to put in the Gemini and see if it can help me figure it out. But so that was one, and that was just good dialogue. I started looking at this whole movie totally different. I just like the dialogue of a lot of these scenes. Um, I oh, so there's so let's talk about iconic scenes before we get to the most iconic one, which is the restaurant scene. The visit to Hollywood, where the lawyer went. He met the big mouth director who thought he could tell him off, thought he could show him his prize pony, and he ended up waking up in bed with his head in the bed. That's actually a really iconic scene too.
hmm
Um, I thought that was like rewatching that again. I was like, and I was looking for cues. It almost felt like Tom knew. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get you right here if you if you don't play right." Like he just had that like that cockiness about him. Like, "Oh, you don't know
Yeah,
what's about to
what
come to
there was
you."
a quote that he said that got me. I should have wrote it down. It was something that he said about the Don or something like that. You don't tell him
Oh,
no. You don't tell the Don no or something like that. Is that what it was? The
pretty much it
Godfather
was
no?
something like he doesn't make once an offer is refused, he doesn't make a second one or
Yeah,
something
okay.
like that. But it was kind of like with what you were saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. I thought the Hollywood visit was short, but
Yeah, that was a
it
good
was it
scene.
was deep. Yeah.
That's such
Um.
a weird life, bro. If those kind of people come to visit you, bro, you either gotta kill them or get out of town. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
seriously, like there's no in between, bro. You either
Number
gotta,
one,
if you're not gonna take the deal, you gotta kill them or leave.
you ain't coming to my crib. You ain't seeing where
No,
I live.
hell no, hell no.
That's
You can meet
just
me at Cane's, man. We can eat some chicken or something.
that's just the
You know,
cocky
come to
Hollywood
my-
head. Somebody who thinks that they are untouchable, but
yeah,
sure enough,
exactly. A $600,000 house or horse. I wonder how. I'm gonna have to look up.
How
Damn,
much money was that? Damn, that's
six
crazy.
hundred.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And what was that?
Um.
The 1950s?
See, that's why I couldn't remember if this was made for the same time. I guess it
No,
was a
look at the
little early. It was
cars.
for the
Nope,
Yeah,
the
yeah. You're
cars. The
right. The
seven cars in the
cars.
70s were completely different.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the
Had to be the
ambulance.
50s,
When I saw
40s, or
the
50s.
ambulance, I was like, "Don't nobody survive going in that ambulance."
You get in that
That
paddy
was
wagon ambulance, bro. It's curtains for you.
yeah, that was a hearse. Um,
The hearse.
I
I'm
was
weak.
like, that
That's
was crazy.
hilarious. That's exactly what it looked like.
But all right, so now we wrapping up with getting wrapped up with scenes. We'll talk about
40s
the
between
iconic ones.
45 and 55 is what it says.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm.
Just yeah, the guns too. Um, nobody
And the
had
lingo.
anything.
Think about the lingo, bro. They'd be saying
Yeah.
jive turkey if it was the
It
70s,
said
boy.
it said Vito Corleone's daughter's wedding was set in 45,
Oh,
just
shit.
after World War II, and concluding around 1955 with Vito's death.
I would say
Okay.
that, and then probably the lack of air conditioning in homes.
Oh shit. Yeah. Um, all right, so then the most iconic scene, which is one that I hope you all now like saw my excitement about like how they used the reference in the offer with it and stuff, and how they twisted the dialogue and stuff. It was just like that was just so smart. But it was the dinner scene, and the thing that I feel like that makes it such a dope scene is Michael Corleone brings it up and everybody kind of laughs it off, right? But the way he brings it up is he's like, "This is what we're gonna do," and he talks them through it, like how I'm gonna do it, and then they all just laugh, but then it ends up happening. So it's just kind of it's kind of iconic how that unfolded, the build up and it unfolded. But then we go into the restaurant, and I don't know, Corey, you seem like you had some thoughts on it, so I'll let you
Uh,
take us into this.
well, I just like I think that that was a turning point from Michael in general. Like that went from him not being involved with the family to him like being all in because after what he did in the restaurant, there was no turning back from that. Like you're now invested fully into the family business at this point.
Yeah. It felt like when he was at the table, the looks that they kept having with each other just already felt like his soul was
But
gone.
it,
Like,
it was interesting because you saw a nervousness in Michael.
yeah,
He was scared. He wasn't confident. He wasn't going in there and like, "Hey, I'm doing this." He's like, "Am I doing this? Is this what I'm gonna do?" Like he was scared and confused in
Well,
my opinion at first. But then once he got the gun, then he's like, "Okay, I'm
yeah,
doing
I
this
was gonna say I
shit."
think that it came from uncertainty. I think because as soon as he goes in, they pat him down, make sure he's unarmed. At that point, they could pull out a gun on you at the table. You could
yeah,
be fucked.
yeah.
Up until he went to go take a piss or whatever, he was unarmed. So I mean, anything could have happened.
Or patted him down again.
Hmm.
Right? Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, yeah. That cop was an idiot. He needed to go. But I like how that whole just plot, how it built up, how it executed, and then how they used their influence to make it look like a whole crooked thing or whatever. Um, was pretty cool. But no, so that's it. I think we're gonna see more of those. For anyone that's watching, like and subscribe. We talk about more stuff, but I think we're gonna see more of those like crossover um, backflashes of the of on the offer or whatever.
So
So I don't know. I think it's pretty dope.
So, how do you feel about the effects of this film from like, like when dude gets shot in the throat? Like I thought for the 70s this is pretty
I thought I
Yeah,
was
advanced.
every
thinking about
death,
that
every
too.
on-screen death was crazy.
Yeah, the one thing, the whole gunshot stuff, they did pretty damn good for the
Yeah.
time. I think the one thing that wasn't good was when Sonny went to go beat up dude in the street. I don't know if
Oh,
y'all
that
could
one
see it.
punch by the wall. He wasn't even
Yeah, yeah,
close. He
Yeah.
it wasn't
wasn't
even
even
close.
close. I
Yeah,
remember thinking about that. I said, I'm gonna tell Trey about this. That motherfucker wasn't even close.
yeah.
But he
The
sold
combat
it.
choreography there wasn't great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he sold it
But
though. That
yeah,
scene was crazy too. It shows you how much a neighborhood will not intervene. If
oh
back
yeah.
then, like if the mob was coming after you, boy, you just had to take that ass whooping
So,
So
because wasn't nobody helping him.
I'm
while we're
gonna
still
ask
on the
this.
effects real quick, hold on.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
do you remember the other one that was just kind of like a little crazy, but they're like, "Hey, we can use this. This will be cool to use." When the dude with the glasses is like
Yes,
in the bed
yeah,
and
I saw
they
that.
shoot him in the eye and then like the blood just comes spraying out of the lens like
Yeah,
that was interesting like
I
obviously it's
thought I
not gonna
thought
go
that made
spraying
me
out
laugh
this
because
way
I
that
but
was
was the
like,
massage scene, right? He was getting a massage, I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
that's what it was he was laying on the massage table yeah he puts his
That made me
glasses on and
laugh
looks up and just
because the person that shot him, they had to get hit him in the
waited
eye.
waited for him to put his glasses on
Yeah,
and then shot him in the eye.
Ain't that some shit? Put your glasses on so you can see this shit coming.
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, those. I mean, those were some not iconic, but those were some epic deaths too. That whole run of hits that they had going on there. And dude got shot up in the bed with his chick.
Hmm.
Mm.
Dude got stuck in the turnaround thing, turning door.
Oh, and then that guy who got all three people and he got that one guy on the steps. He took aim.
Oh yeah.
Took a knee in the street.
Oh yeah, he put on that. It's like now I'm like seeing this stuff. I'm like, this is definitely where some of those missions in the game came from, where you had to dress up as a cop and go
Mm.
do the
You
Now,
know
heroic
was that
stuff.
a
what?
real cop
I
or
think
was
that
that somebody dressed as a cop?
No, it was somebody
no, he
dressed
was
up.
dressed up. I
Because
think
he
that
had
he was
influence.
I think that Batman, I forget which Batman it was, but you remember where that guy dressed up as a cop and then shot at the commissioner when he was on the stage? I think that they took that from that scene
Could have.
because he
Oh
almost
yeah,
looked exactly like him, bro.
yeah. So I want to call out because we were talking about the Sonny beating up the abuser in the street. So before he got there, he was on the stoop, like telling people what to do, like he was running the street. Do you think he was using his family influence to like kind of have some fun out in the street? Did
Oh,
you
I'm
kind of
sure he
think?
was until he
Yeah,
got his ass whooped.
yeah,
The funny thing is when he pulled up, and I don't know what he had in his hand, but he just like throws it at him. It's like that was really funny to me.
I think it was a
just slow him
bat. I
down a
think he
little
threw a
bit.
bat at him, bro,
Yeah,
or a
slow him
club, a
down a
billy
little
club, or
bit.
Yeah, it
something.
was like a little club.
I don't understand. Every time you see somebody trying to run from an ass whooping in a movie, they always run a like diagonal to the street. Like just run
Yeah.
down the fucking
Yeah,
road, bro.
yeah. Why are you crossing over?
Matter of fact,
Um,
go in the house and lock the door. The
yeah,
fuck? He was on the stoop. Just go in the crib.
yeah. So as we wrap it up, like to know what you all any final thoughts? Did anything I don't know, did anything change as we talked through anything? Did you feel I don't know, when we look at the ending kind of I guess when we talk about the ending, it kind of just wrapped up with we got the send off of the original Don, and his death. We see the transfer over of Mike and actually the ending, which is
Yeah, we
kind of
forgot
funny.
something.
He
Yeah, that's what I
said,
was gonna say. You can ask me one
"Right,
time about
yeah,
family business. One time. And she
yeah,
said, "Did you do it?" He said, "No." She said, "Oh, thank God." And she gave him a hug. He said, "What the fuck?" Now you know for sure he's more invested in his family
yeah,
than than more interested in the family than his family.
Hmm.
yeah, yeah." I thought so too. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
that shit
mean
was crazy.
that was kind of the wrap up of this 3 hour film. Um, yeah, not much to say about it. I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to watching Godfather 2. Like, I don't. I almost wanted to start it tonight because I was just like in the
I
vibe.
might do it now, right after we get off here.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. But yeah, so we'll probably watch that. I think we shouldn't talk about it until after we finish the series of The Offer. Now that we watch this, we'll get back into that and finish that up. But I wanted to call out one thing. I was, I don't know why, I don't know where. All right, I don't know how it just all came to me, but I was like thinking about the influence of this movie, like how Chris kind of talked. I was thinking about it on my own, and I feel like Yellowstone took inspiration from The Godfather, from the structure of the film.
The
You
family
got the mili-
feel.
you got the military son coming home. The older son dies. The military kid who doesn't want to be in the family finds reason to have to. It just kind of all felt like it
You
all
know,
kind
I
of felt
haven't
like
seen Yellowstone other than the pilot. And you know, isn't that the same show where there's a horse death in the first minute of the movie? I mean, the first minute of the show. Didn't they shoot a horse in the street?
I can't remember.
I
I'm
can't
almost
remember.
It's a
100%
horse.
certain
It's a
that there's
horse
a
though.
horse death in the first episode, like the pilot. That's the only episode I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Let me see.
So Yellowstone is actually a great TV show, but I stopped watching it when um, the annoying sister just survived every death. I hated her, and she just wouldn't go away. I was like,
Beth.
yeah, Beth. I was like, nah. We just stopped watching it.
Yep.
Um,
A mercy death. He shot him after a car crash. Yep. Right in
oh,
the
okay.
street. Yep. Yep. That was like an opening scene of the show.
Huh. That's funny. But
That's
no, that was
weird.
just something I picked up on. That I was curious if y'all kind of could see the same. Corey, have you watched Yellowstone?
Some of it. I think I watched some of the
Oh,
first
okay.
season, but I haven't really got really invested into it.
I feel like it is. I feel like Taylor Sheridan got some inspiration
Yeah, I
from the
could see
structure
that.
of The
I could definitely see
Godfather.
that from the episodes that I've watched.
Yeah,
Like just the family, family
yeah.
business. That's what they have. Is so
Oh, and
and a
then you
little bit of
got
mob
you got
mentality.
the and then you got the brother from the street that was taken into the family, who is just as
Mhm.
much family as one of the other
Mhm.
main characters. It's just all kind of. I was like,
Bro, that's
oh,
the
this is
same
like some
thing.
Yellowstone.
It's
Yeah,
the same thing as
definitely.
Mobland. Mobland's the same
Yeah,
way.
yeah, that's true. I think that see, we talk about the inspiration of this film.
Yeah.
Influence.
We see, yeah, the influence. Yeah, the influence
Yeah.
is there. All right, bet. Well, that wraps up the Godfather. And I think we'll be back on here talking about the rest of the offer because it was binge worthy. I don't know if these guys have binged it yet. I haven't. I
Just
actually
watch the
stopped.
pilot.
Yeah, I stopped. But I do like it. I want to get into it. So,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
um,
Like I said, I was telling Corey this before we started. I like The Offer better than I did The Godfather. I said that earlier. Yeah,
yeah,
I like that show better than I like the movie.
okay, yeah. Um, I it's hard for me to say that same thing, but who
Well,
knows?
I'm just
We'll
looking
just
at.
see.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I did. Well, maybe I just need to
I
look at
can't
The
say that
Godfather
yet.
through the lens of 1972. Like I just
yeah,
need to erase everything I've seen prior. You know, when you watch this movie, you got to put yourself into that
Hmm.
realm. Like
yeah,
you know,
If you were in the
watching it
'70s
in
and
that time.
you walked into the movie theater and you saw that for the first time, like
It's the best
compared to
movie
all the other
screening. Yeah.
movies you've ever seen in the '70s, which I
Yeah.
haven't seen any, so I don't really have many to compare it to. But
yeah. Well, let me tell you all this before we wrap it up. The Godfather 3 was made in 1990. I just had
Dang,
it
they
pulled
waited a
up.
long time. So
I know.
Godfather
Don't,
2 came out 2 years after one, and then they waited like 20 something years to make the third
yeah,
one?
I don't know
Goodness
why they
gracious.
did that. Godfather Part 3. So hold on. Its budget was 54 million in 1990. Um so and I mean every one they made a shit ton of money back. Um
That's crazy. 16 years after the number two. That's a long
so
time, bro.
I got a question. This is an interesting question, and I'd love to
yep.
hear what you guys think. 1970. I mean, this is kind of what we're talking about right here. Was when it came out. What What do you all think about a remake of the original Godfather film today? Do it or not?
Ooh. No, I
This
don't feel
is
like you
this
can.
and that's what I'm
I don't
saying.
feel
There's
like
some yeah. Go on, Chris.
I don't feel like you have the iconic actors that could play those roles
Hmm.
now. Like
Yeah.
you can't use a De Niro no more. You know what I mean? You can't use I mean, I don't know if Joe Pesci would you know what I'm saying? I don't know what they're like they're really old now, no disrespect to them,
Right.
but
Yeah,
I
no.
don't think that they're uh act like I don't know that they could hold the weight of those movies. And who else would you get? You could get DiCaprio maybe, but who else?
Yeah, I don't think we
I don't know any
I,
So
Italian actors like that. Like
that's
I don't
interesting.
think we
So
have the we don't have the talent like that
basically
anymore.
saying like there's no original mob gangsters that are around anymore to film something like that, which is interesting.
No. Not there's not a look anymore for that. Like I think it's dying off. I think the ones that are left are too old, like Chris was saying. They would
because
have to come in and
you would have to get them, the
yeah,
iconic
you have
guys.
to.
Like,
But they would have to be like the Dons that don't do much though.
yeah.
You
So
know,
who would the young guys be? I don't even know. They'd have
it
to.
would have to be like a handoff film. You know, like oh here's the next generation.
Mm,
But yeah. So it
yeah,
couldn't be so to answer your question, it couldn't be a remake. And honestly, I don't think the industry would let I think that's one of the films that they wouldn't let anyone touch it.
God,
You know.
I hope that they don't let AI do it if they do decide to.
Did you all watch The Irishman?
Yes, I've
Yes,
seen
So I mean that's kind of like taking all those old guys and putting them together in a film. But like I
it.
said,
Yeah.
I was just
I don't
asking
think you
as a
could do it
talking
now.
point. I don't think anybody has the balls to do it, and I don't think
No.
anybody
They
like
would have had to start
can do
recording
it.
that shit 10 years ago. Because if they started
Yeah.
today, it wouldn't release for another 8 years,
Yeah,
probably. You know what I mean? It would take a long time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there would be too much comparing to the original, and it's just like I don't think it's a good idea, but it's just an interesting talking point.
I
I
think
think
somebody might try it.
I
Yeah,
think spin-offs. I think like a different perspective, like maybe another family, and then
Second.
like possibly because there's other Godfathers. You
hmm
know what I'm saying? This is just the one that the perspective we saw. So it could be another perspective, or it could be backstories to maybe Luca or something like that that we could get. But I don't think a complete remake. I don't
See,
think
it
we do
says,
that.
check this out. I just Googled popular Italian actors in Hollywood today. And the ones that are the young crowd would be Leonardo DiCaprio. It says with Italian heritage,
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Nicolas Cage, and Bradley Cooper.
no, they could not do it.
if I saw Nicolas Cage in in an
No, thank
Italian
you.
mob
You see what I
movie,
mean? No, thank you. No, thank you.
he better ride in on a flaming motorcycle because I ain't falling for
Right? Yeah, there's not there. Yeah, I think the era for Italian actors that was the prime right there
it.
from the 70s to the 90s was the
Yeah,
prime for them because they were killing it.
yeah. No, yep, it's a good call out for sure. All right, boys. Well, we'll wrap it up there. I think, yeah. So that's a wrap on that.